Brady's due to have a bad game. If you look at it here, Baltimore has the defense that can stop him. You know what I mean? They did it to him a couple years ago. They destroyed New England in Foxborough. If there's one team that can go into Foxborough and win, it's the Baltimore Ravens.
Very tough.
I like Baltimore, though, because their defense is solid. Ray Rice can have a field day against New England, some run defense. Well, you know what, Matt Ryan? Your season's going to be done! It'll be done! I know you got a good home record, but this is the San Francisco 49ers. This is Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore. They're going to run the option on you. They're going to run it down your throats, and they're going to win by 3 scores. Well, you both got 49ers and Patriots.
That's what I'm saying.
I got 49ers and Ravens.
All right. Let's bet on it.
No, I'm not taking that risk. Last time we did this, I had to wear a Patriots gear.
Well, how you boys doing?
Great. How are you? There.
Looks like you owe you some credit.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, credit. Here you go. Here's credit.
Thank you. At least a football team got what they deserved, named the New England Patriots. That made me real happy. I was real happy to see that the Baltimore Ravens, of course, that big hit on Steven Ridley. I think the right 2 teams are in the Super Bowl. They are. You really think that? You really think so? Mm-hmm.
I can't disagree.
The thing was, Baltimore was a better team than New England on that occasion. Baltimore deserved to win.
Joe Flacco completely outshined Tom Brady in his house.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, it's not the first time Flacco's outshined Brady.
Even last year, same game.
It's same game. I mean, look at what I said. That Baltimore would go into Foxborough and win. You know, they've done it before. They went into Foxborough and destroyed New England in the divisional round a couple of years ago. You know, they should have won the AFC Championship game last year. And I think now that it's Ray Lewis's last season, they're motivated, and I think it's going to be interesting. Now, I'm not going to make a pick.
You're not going to make a pick?
Not make a pick yet until next week.
All right, fair enough.
Guys, do you think Bill Belichick is done in New England?
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
No.
He was in the Super Bowl last year.
Mm-hmm.
AFC Championship game again this year.
Do you guys think that if you look at it, New England, to be honest with you, is getting a little bit stale.
I think what he needs to start doing is spying on teams again.
No.
Start spying on teams? No.
They seem to do pretty well with that.
You got to look at what New England is. They got a young defense, yes. But, they got to start looking at the offensive line. They've got to start looking. For New England, I think what they really need is a tall wide receiver. They are not the same team since Randy Moss left.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Yeah.
You look at Brandon Lloyd, you look at Wes Welker.
Yes. Wes Welker.
They're getting older. They're getting older. That's the thing.
And they missed Gronkowski.
They did. I mean, Gronkowski is a difference maker, and they really did miss him a lot. And that, I wonder, what if Gronkowski would have played? Do you think New England wins the game?
No.
Because if you look at what Baltimore
would have made a big
did,
difference, though.
Look at what Baltimore did. They pressured Brady. They did well.
They scored.
Flacco played very well. He's outshined Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and now Tom Brady.
Well, don't forget, too, I also said, and that didn't happen it was going to take, if Joe Flacco, it was going to take the Baltimore offense, they were going to be the difference. They were the difference in the game. Flacco played well. I mean, also, he had Bolden played well. And also, you got to give credit where credit's due. Baltimore went into a very hostile Foxborough.
Yep.
Went in there, beat New England, and now we've got Baltimore's in the Super Bowl, and they deserve it.
What about the NFC matchup? When you saw Atlanta go up 17 in the first quarter, first half, or whatever, did you feel at all like San Fran was out of it?
Because everybody knew about San Francisco. would come back.
And Atlanta. Look at
Especially-
what they
and
gave
it's
up the week
Atlanta.
before.
Yeah, I mean, like, I still think if you look at what San Francisco did in that game was they didn't panic. You know, they had to survive the storm. They did that. You know, and look at how many points Atlanta scored in the second half. Zip. Nothing. And that's because you got to give credit to Jim Harbaugh for what he has done with that team
I
ever
loved his
since
freak
he took
out.
over.
I loved his freak out when he challenged that catch on the field and he flipped out. I like that.
I do question why he would go with Kaepernick, you know, when Alex Smith was playing well, actually.
Look
you
at
know,
why,
but
though.
then again, Kaepernick has played well and it brought in the option.
Completely different
offense.
offense.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, how many runs did Kaepernick have against the Falcons? Two, maybe?
Also, I'm very disappointed, though, that Vernon Davis hasn't been part of much of the offense over there.
He had a pretty, you know what? He had a good game moving the ball downfield. He didn't score in the last game because they rushed it in, you know, from in the red zone. But Vernon Davis is a huge part of getting the ball downfield for San Fran. And we saw Kaepernick.
What we saw was San Francisco is completely outright, flat out better than Atlanta based on their experience.
I'd say the best team in the NFC.
Yes,
absolutely.
I would say the best team. They proved it. They beat Green Bay. They beat Atlanta. They deserve to be just like Baltimore in the AFC.
Yeah.
San Francisco deserves to be representing the NFC.
These two teams should have been the matchup last year between Baltimore and San Francisco. I'm glad it's the Super Bowl match this year.
Well, this year you got you got Colin Kaepernick.
You really thought
Last year I had to wear a New England Patriots gear, courtesy of our producer,
our director, our loving director.
Yes.
Yeah, well, why isn't he wearing any Ravens attire today?
Yeah, why isn't he wearing any Ravens?
What's going on with that?
Should have bet him. Oh well.
Maybe next year, huh?
Maybe next year.
I would say
You know, Ray Lewis will be gone.
he looks nice in Ravens purple.
Pat does.
Pat, yeah.
I can see that. He's more of those softer colors, you know,
True.
pink, some purple, maybe some teal, fuchsia. Looks good in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm surprised he's not debating us this week.
Well, he ran off with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, he did. Ever since the day he called us out.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Well, after Sunday, especially when his man
His
Tom-
meal ticket.
his
His
meal ticket. Yeah.
His meal ticket.
Work in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would have won, he would have been out flipping cars and burning couches. But.
Yeah, he would have been jumping for joy.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's keep it on relevant topics here, not our director. All right, let's keep it on the matters of the day here, matters at hand. There's a lot of storylines with this thing.
Yes, there
Okay.
is.
Brother Bowl.
Hardball bowl.
Thank you. Is anyone tired of Ray Lewis yet?
No.
No,
Because I am.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I've watched football to watch football, not get a scripture lesson.
I'm not. Ray Lewis is a great. I love the scripture lesson.
I like Ray Lewis, but it's like, what is this,
I love
Tebow on
I
steroids?
love the scripture lesson.
Crying.
Ray Lewis is a lot better than Tebow.
When's the choir going to walk in behind him with Michelle
Tebow learned to do
Savoya?
this, and then they're not seeing that anymore.
Yeah, well, Ray Lewis, like, oh my God, Jesus. You know, for 5 minutes on national TV, we don't need it.
Born-again Christian after what he went through, being accused of a murder.
That's fine. There's a time and place for that. There's also a time and place for football and discussion of games and matchups. My opinion. All right, you guys go back to church.
Ray Lewis is a good influence.
Murders people.
He does not. Murder.
Allegedly.
Does not murder people.
Well, not allegedly.
Well,
he was whatever.
let's
Yeah.
He was innocent.
He's innocent.
We
I
got a
guess.
commercial
All right,
break,
we got a
ladies and
commercial
gentlemen.
break to hit too. All right, so we come back. We're going to talk.
The Dragons.
We're going to talk the Dragons.
Dragons.
The
14
Dragons.
race in the OA. Blue. Here on Between Taorminas on ONTV.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
We own a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I paid for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Okay, welcome back to Between Taorminas. So, I understand it's heating up in the
boys.
Yeah, the OA is heating up a bit.
OA Blue.
OA Blue.
It's actually right now we've got a 4-team race in the OA Blue which includes our beloved Lake Orion Dragons with Bloomfield Hills LOHS, Birmingham Seaholm, and Farmington Hills Harrison.
Interesting.
Lake Orion has posted two wins against. One of them came against Seaholm.
At our house or their house?
Yep, at Orion. And Lake Orion this week plays LOHS and Harrison, both at Lake Orion.
So it can make up a lot of ground here, huh?
Well, it's a big week. If you look at how it's lined up, Harrison beat LOHS last week, and then Harrison beat Seaholm at home. So
Harrison. Well, let's look at Harrison. I mean, like, they're benefiting from two guards. You know what I mean? You got a 3-point sniper, and then you have a point guard who takes charges of games. I mean, like, when you look at Seaholm, of course, they're big, and they got Paris Bass. LOHS, they're big with Matten. Yancey Matten.
Almost same team that returned in the regional semifinal.
I think the OA Blue, in my opinion, is much tougher than the OA White. Because
even the OA Red, I'll make that argument.
Even the Red, because, like, I'm saying, even the Red, because, like, the Blue has 4 legitimate teams. You know what I mean? There's 4. I mean, like, you know, a lot of people said about Harrison this year. I mean, like, they were supposed to have a down year, but this is a team that went down to the OA Red, from the OA Red. And the Red, you know, they play teams like Clarkston, Southfield, North Farmington. They have experience. I mean, like, you know, so it's very interesting right now. It's getting really interesting.
And it's only going to bound to get more interesting because you look at, you know, Lake Orion's got to play LOHS, and they got to play Harrison.
Tough for the Dragons.
But also the Dragons got to go on the road. They got to go to Harrison, got to go to LOHS, got to go to Seaholm. 3 not very easy games at all. So, but I would say that it's a good thing. You got to defend your home turf. But to win on the road, you got to make a statement. Harrison so far has made a statement. They won a game at LOHS. They defended home court against Seaholm.
Harrison shot 13 threes in that game.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, like, if you look at it here, besides Rexroth in the interior, Harrison does not have a lot of posts.
Right, Orion's got an influence.
They use the 3-point advantage. And, of course, you look at a team.
Andover reminds
but
me
also,
of
but also with Harrison, I mean, like, you know, they played an interesting schedule, but not at the extreme of Orion.
Right.
But I just think, you know, that 3-point shot is very, very lethal, and it happened when they beat LOHS because Matten had 22 points and 23 rebounds in that loss. If you look at that matchup tomorrow night with LOHS, it's going to be a really, really tough matchup for Orion in the interior.
I think that it's actually going to be a benefit to Orion because Orion's got a lot more post players. I would say that Orion is a lot more deeper. And I remember back in my basketball previous show that I had with Coach Reese, John McCarty, and Connor Stallings. John McCarty said this. He said that they have to come ready to play every night. And that's what this is about. And it looks like the blue is a lot better than the red. It's a lot better than the white this year. So you have to come ready to play every night. The thing is, you get up for those games. You get up for the games like LOHS and Harrison, and even down the for the games like LOHS. The question for what I think for Orion is, what have they learned from the losses they've had, which was Andover. Okay, Harrison reminds you an awful lot of Andover. Same thing with Clarkston. Clarkston likes to shoot 3. And then he got Adams. Adams is pretty much they're good defensively. So, and then Country Day is Country Day. So, what has Orion learned from those games?
Well, I hope they learned a lot from those games. I mean,
and then they had an impressive outing with Seaholm because if they play the way that they did against Seaholm, they're gonna be just fine.
Well, you got to look at what Orion has done. You know what I mean? I mean, like Seaholm, Seaholm's a big team, and I still cannot.
Jose Andreas.
I still can't believe
great coach
that Orion beat Seaholm the way they did in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
I don't know how the game's gonna be in Birmingham, but it's astounding. But the key, if Orion wants to play that caliber, I just think that when they play Harrison, they got to use everything to their advantage, and maybe they might have to shoot some threes against Harrison.
We'll
if
have to
they
see
play
what
him
happens.
on Tuesday night, you know.
We'll have to see what happens with like Orion going, because arguably the OA Blue right now is the hottest race right
And
now.
also, of course, LOHS's head coach Dwayne Graves
is a Lake Orion
alumni.
Oh boy!
Got to sit. I sat six seats next to him during the Oakland game on Saturday.
That was interesting.
You sat 6 seats away from who?
Yeah, that's
Dwayne
Graves, LOHS's head coach and a Dragon alum.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good guy.
Didn't talk anything about except that the game's going to be a good game.
That's probably good,
Mm-hmm.
Stick to who you're with now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Can't be going back for your ex-girlfriend just because she calls. Know what I mean?
That's a good example.
You got a perfectly good girlfriend here, Lasser.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragons were good to you back then, but it ain't the 90s anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, anything else? I hear a lot of talk about the Dragons may need to start shooting the three, or they need to do this.
The three pretty well.
But is there? Do you fear at all that the Dragons will try to do what they're not good at to match up better with a different team, or do you think on their strengths alone?
I worry about this team's laziness because because this team's had a history of being lazy. I think that if they're lazy, they're in trouble. That's all it is in this league, because you cannot come in. I thought in the Clarkson game they were lazy. I thought Adams' game.
You weren't there.
I wasn't there, but wasn't good.
You got the live feed on Twitter.
Country Day, of course. They're Country Day. There's nothing you can do with that. But I just felt that the Clarkson game, they were just absolutely lazy in that game.
Well, remember I mentioned this with John and Connor and Coach Reese on my boys' basketball preview show. It's about playing every night, coming to play every night, and I think they would be honest with you that they didn't come to play against Clarkston. But I do think Seaholm they did, and I feel really good about this team going forward.
If they play like they did against Seaholm and they put it against Clarkson in March, this team's gonna go places.
This team will go far. Mm-hmm. We could be seeing a repeat, hopefully.
Hopefully, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, anything else you want to wrap up about the men's Dragons?
It's be a good race.
Be a good race. Good week of basketball coming up, huh?
Very good race.
All right. Great. Well, when we come back, got to get into Te'o, got to get into Armstrong. Yep. So we'll see you when we get back.
Yep.
Cat, rat, Matt, it doesn't matter what your name is. Let me tell you something. When you come down here to the ONTV studios, the next time MWO is back, it doesn't matter if it's me, if it's Spraytown, or if it's Apocalypse. You're going to be looking up at the lights, advertising the fact that you just got your behind handed to you. Why? Because Freytown will tell you.
Oh, let me tell you something. Oh, yeah, you think you're so tough hiding behind your little computer screen, sitting around in your mom's basement while she's waiting to go to bingo. You think you're so tough? Well, that's just great. You're going to show up at this on-TV studios, and boy, I'm going to break you in half. I'm going to tear you limb from limb, and there's nothing you or anyone else can do about it. So if you think you're so tough, come on down, pal. Ain't that right, big man?
That's right. Get out of your basement, nerd! Nobody hacks!
Geez,
wow,
sometimes you get burned by your own game.
Yep.
And I think our director learned a lesson. But just in case he didn't, why don't we put the nail in the coffin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's push the Te'o stuff aside.
Right.
All right,
let's push it aside.
Anthony, you want to go first?
Gladly.
All right, take care of business.
Pat Ronan. Pat Ronan, it's simple. It's very, very simple, my friend. I know you've been a good influence to me in my life during my lifetime. At the same time, you've helped me with several groups. And at the same time, you've been a great person in my life. But you chose to go on your own. And at the same time, that's hindered me. Pat Ronan, you say that you control the buttons around here, but you got to remember, man, who made you? Who made you the person you are? You're looking at myself, and you're looking at Sam.
Swinging low.
You get your facts straight, Ronan. Never, and don't do what you did again.
Ooh. Who's up next? Me?
You're next.
All right. Pat Ronan, why? It's simple. You suck. You suck at a lot of things. Directing, football, pushing simple buttons, directing, basketball, good God. And I question why you're taking a year off from snowboarding. Huh? What's going on there, Pat? That's what I thought. Listen, Pat, we got a date. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. We're playing football on the football field. And you're dead. I'm going to kill you. Right there on the field.
Well, a lot of people ask me this here. I'm going to say this here. Pat Ronan, why? Why did you compare me to Bob Down? Why? Why? What have I done to you? I trained you to be a huge Stars fan, and you stabbed me in the back. I'm disappointed at that. Another thing. Don't compare me to Bob Dowd. Bob Dowd wants me in prison. I know you don't want me in prison.
He wouldn't have a job.
I wouldn't have a job.
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. Pat, I thought I trained you well. I'm very disappointed. But then again, I did beat you in golf. I did beat you in putt-putt golf.
Mini golf.
And I know I can beat you again. I know several other people can beat you too.
I'm not one of them.
I know several others. Pat, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. Jesus. God help us.
Do you want to have a roundtable discussion of why Pat sucks now?
Well, here's the thing about Pat Ronan.
Sure.
Pat Ronan, you look at how...
Why would he just... Pat playing his mind games again. Why would he just have his feet sit in a fireplace while he's reading a book? Why? Why would you do that? Would you do that?
Did I do it?
No.
I called in the beef.
Yeah.
We got the real men to do
the
our work.
MWO.
The MWO. By the way, he got challenged to a match.
Yeah.
Is he going to show up?
I don't know. I think he's afraid of him.
I don't think he has the cojones.
I give it an address. You know what I mean?
The address is right here?
Yeah, I give it his address if they can go.
Oh, they can just find him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can give it to him.
All right, that's not a bad idea.
Well, I think when you look at Pat and his history, yeah.
I vomit when I look at him typically, but sure, go ahead.
But you look at Pat's been very instrumental in the groups that I've been involved with. Started with kindergarten with Sammy, with Kyle Milliken, and and especially the late great Steven Crowder, and also Kevin Bowen, and then also was very instrumental in second grade for me, and along with Kevin Bowen for myself and Rob Shanowskis and the great Travis Hardley. It's just the person that we hoped would be a great influence.
You look at him then, and you think his path, he's on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
But he's gone off track so many different times.
Yeah, he's been off track so many different times. It's just, and here he is again, directing.
I talked to so many friends about him. You know what I mean? I do. And they've been wanting him called out. They've been wanting him to get what he deserves.
Burned at the stake.
Burned at the stick. Yes. I think tonight he got what he deserves.
I do too. I agree. And, it really irks me because we have the hard job here. Mm-hmm. We got to look pretty. We got to talk.
Yep.
We got to study and know.
Yep.
Pat's got to push like a total of 4 buttons in a half hour. And he can't do it.
No.
That's why we had to do it for him today.
I know.
We had to sneak in there.
Even during the he still can't get it right. Even when I ask him to do something, he still doesn't get it right. You know that back in 2002, he threw a beach ball and I threw on Saginaw Bay, and I tried catching it, and I got my foot caught in seaweed, and I almost drowned. I haven't forgiven Pat for it.
Yeah, well, I can't remember that.
And I issued the ban.
You issued the ban on Ronan.
The ban. Only lifted for
the 10 years ban.
Yeah,
it was lifted
and then
this
he
year.
came back and played, and he ended up losing.
Yeah.
Sally, you took the toilet bowl.
What's that now?
You took the toilet bowl trophy.
Yeah.
We're not here to discuss rankings.
Yeah, we're not here to discuss.
All right, so anything else you want to throw in about Pat here before we wrap it up? I think we gave him a good taste.
Pat Ronan got what he deserved. Pat Ronan needs to get into the wrestling and fight the MWO wrestlers. Yeah. Especially that big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Nope. Nope.
You know, as I like to call him, Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's Pat.
Yeah.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. He's behaved himself, keep his nose clean.
He just got called out 6 times in one show.
Yeah, that's a new record.
That's a record, yeah.
He's above Caputo at this point.
No, he's above Caputo. He's tied with you two and Connor's talents.
Oh, jeez. Oh. All right, well, let's hope he minds his P's and Q's from now on and he doesn't have to get whipped again.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see him next week. He's probably going to be in the psych ward.
Yeah, he'll probably be there.
Yeah. Telling him, I love myself, because...
Or, like, he might try to just go like this. Like... Thinking about
stick his nose up.
Thinking
about what girl he's going to steal next.
Shout out to Kevin Bowen, Jeff Krzyzanowski. They've all been waiting for this day that Pat Ronan got called out.
The whole junkyard gang.
Guy.
All right.
Couldn't have to a nicer guy.
All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well.
And also, congratulations to the Dallas Stars.
No.
We're done here.
We're done here.
Thank you so much for joining us. God bless America.
Go Stars! Woo! Beat Detroit! Beat Detroit!